everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host, Jennifer, and Monday, we usually do Monday makes. So we tune in and we see what I've been working on. And I'm going to give you a heads up. There's no crochet in this video, and there's only one thing that I knit, but there's a whole lot of sewing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to reach because my one knit thing is hanging up to dry. So, as you know, I am working on two bigger projects, so there's not a lot of littler, smaller makes that are being made and finished so that I could show you on Monday, because I'm working on a baby blanket for my baby sister who is due in January, and I was working on a blanket for my niece that is crochet, but that has been put on hold, maybe permanently. So, long story. With that being said, I took the week. I got a lot of my videos for last week recorded and up really early in the week. So I had a lot of time to just not do videos all week. So I was very happy. So I sat at my sewing machine with some of my beautiful Christmas fabrics that I have either recently acquired or that has been gifted to me or that I have acquired some time ago with the anticipation of making project bags. So, with that being said, I am going to show you some of these. I'm going to show you the ones I made for myself first, because I'm keeping a good stack of them. And then I'm going to show you the ones that are going in the shop. And these are not going to be very expensive at all, because you guys know that I get my fabric from thrift stores. Not that that makes it any less of a fantastic thing. But I also, honestly, I didn't make these for a profit. I made these because it was fun to me, and I really had a good time doing it when my machine was cooperating. We'll talk about that too. But the reason I'm putting them in the shop is in case anyone wants them. I just am really charging supplies and maybe a little bit of my time. This is not something that I plan on doing. This is not something that I'm doing for a profit, because I do not ever want to make anything for a profit with my sewing. I just don't know. I don't. I sew for fun. We'll just leave it at that, okay? So you are going to see repeat fabrics, because I'm going to show you the pile I made for myself first. But I'm also going to show you, and some of them are exact duplicates, like this one is going to be in the shop, but I also made this one for myself. And this was so perfect because I got a box last week, and I showed you guys, and she put some fabrics in here, and I forgot, because I showed them in Happy Mail and then I put them back in the Happy Mail box. And what I do is when I get Happy Mails, I show you guys my Happy Mail and then put it back in the box, and then I file it away where it needs to be. I put it on the shelf that it needs to be when I have time. So that's what happened. I forgot it was on the floor in the box still, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. So I was working with this fabric, which I think is so cute. It reminds me of wrapping paper. And I love wrapping paper. I collect wrapping paper on clearance, because after Christmas I wait until it's like 70 to 90% off. My mom did this too. I never pay full price for wrapping paper or fabric. And so my mom used to be obsessed with it because she didn't have a lot of money. She was on a very fixed income. And she would go after Christmas and she would always say, and these were her exact words, "You gotta watch out for your yardage. You gotta watch out for your yardage." And so she always made it a point that if you're gonna buy wrapping paper on clearance, you have to make sure that the yardage is worth the price. How many feet are you getting? She would always say that get the most amount of feet you can get for the lowest price. And so we have a wholesale store here called BJ's. It's like a Costco or a Sam's Club, and it's a membership club. And they have these ginormous rolls of wrapping paper, and they're like $10 a roll, because it is like, oh, I don't even know how many feet or yards it is. It is a lot of wrapping paper. I mean, it's like this, and it's like mostly wrapping paper. And so after Christmas, if you wait just the right amount of time, you can get them for either 70% off or 90% off. And so like I've paid like maybe $2, $1.99. Sometimes I'll pay $5, but like $5, it's worth the yardage. It really is. But depending on what the percentage off, obviously 90% off, it would be $1, but like I usually get it like 60, 70% off. And just because I want to get it before it's all gone, you know? And I don't know where I was going with that. I have a lot of wrapping paper because I like it, and this reminded me of wrapping paper. So I was working with, and this is honestly, these bags are the best bags I've ever made. They're the best anything I've ever made. Like, my seams are mostly straight. I used coordinating colors when I sewed them. Like, the liners look nice. I did a really good job on these. They're not perfect. They're not professional quality. There are little things here and there that maybe make them not perfect. So they are still the best sewing things I've ever made in regards to quality. I will say that. So this is what this one looks like. These are mine that I'm showing you now. And this is, let me give you an idea of what it looks like next to like a skein. This is a small skein of yarn, but like that's how big it is. That gives you an idea. Let's see. What is one? This is a good size. This is about a normal size skein of yarn. So that is about how big these are. So you fit several in there for whatever project you're making in your little notions pouch. So this is the small size. I only have a couple of small size because I like big project bags. I don't care if there's like extra room for stuff to be swimming around in there. This is the bigger size. And these are all drawstring. And this has the Christmas mouse on it. And red and red. No, there's a red here, but inside is my apple holly print. Very cute. This is what they look like. These are big sacks, so it's about this size. I mean, you could fit probably a blanket project in here, like a baby blanket. So, and then this one is one of my favorites. It's got the little babies, the little snow babies on there. And then the inside is stars. This one is another one of my favorite. These are all mine. I remember I showed you guys this last week. I had to hand wash this one because I didn't want the red to bleed on the white, and I forgot, and this smelled a little bit musty because this one was from 757 Creative. Isn't that beautiful? And then this one was going to go in the shop, but I totally blundered it, and I'll show you what I did wrong. And actually, I got an email from Debbie, the Canadian Crotcheter, the other day, and she asked me a question. She's all, now, I know that my stuff is probably not as good as yours. I was like, what are you talking about? I literally just sewed the liner inside out. The liner is inside out. Now, I'm going to show you a close-up what I mean. This seam is supposed to be on the inside of the green material. So it's supposed to be flipped around the other way. And I sewed it wrong and didn't realize till the bag was done. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go back over that and resew it. So I'll just keep this one because it's a blunder bag. But it's beautiful. But it's got a major, major imperfection. And this is probably going to fray over time. But yeah, that's my big mistake bag. But it's pretty and it does the job, you know. So I really like that one. I was really disappointed because that's all the fabric I have of the Christmas tree one. And I love Christmas trees. And I planned to put this one in the shop, but I was like, I messed up too much. I can't go in the shop. But it's really pretty. And then this is the last of the ones I made for myself. And I do have some more of this fabric. I have enough to make a couple more bags, I think. But I was gifted this fabric by one of you beautiful people. And it's just the Disney characters, Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Pluto, and Donald. And on the inside is this really cute fabric with little paw prints on it. Because I'm like, Pluto's Christmas, right? So, and these are really big sacks. So those are mine, but these are the ones that are going in the shop that I have so far. And now, let me tell you, my machine has not ever acted right. And I think that's user error. And I really think that the problem was me. there is an extra knob on there that I was wrapping the yarn around because I thought it was the tension rod or the tension something or not, and it's not. And so this whole time, like, I fought my machine. I was like, this machine is not old enough that I should be fighting it this much. Well, then I got a huge tangle in the bobbin casing where the bobbin goes inside the underneath where it sews. And a spring got bent way out of place that's supposed to hold the bobbin casing in place. There's a spring here. And so the bobbin casing, which is where the bobbin goes inside, was twisting out of place and just caused just a lot of noise, a lot of racket. And I ended up I didn't know this until this week. There was another metal piece on the back of the bobbin case that was bent upward a little bit. And if things are not aligned just right in the sewing machine, it is a disaster. And like, you will get like this horrible knotted mess on the bottom side of your sewing. And this kept happening over and over again, and it kept snapping the wire, and there was like so many things going wrong. And I was getting frustrated making these bags. And at some point I was like, okay, these are the best bags I've ever made. And at some point, like, they were the hardest because I was fighting the machine. I kept taking the machine apart. And this is that same material I showed you, but instead of the beige, the cream colored top here, it's the same material with the cream on the inside. And this is the large sack. So, I have a very large sack. So that's one of the ones that will be in the shop. Took the machine all the way apart. And I was really frustrated. I was almost crying because I was so irritated with the stupid machine. I don't have the money to buy a new one right now because Christmas is coming, and like, you know, there's all these things. I just don't have the money to buy a new machine. I didn't have the money to go take the machine in. Like, you know, I'm trying to buy Thanksgiving. Not that I need money. This is not what I'm saying at all. But I was frustrated with the machine. Okay? And I don't have the money to have that fixed. Particularly right now. It's not a priority. These bags were not a priority. Like, I got other things that are more important. This is another Christmas mouse one. And this one has the holly and the apples all the way through. And again, it's a pretty big sack. But none of these are the exact same size. So I don't measure anything. I treat sewing a lot like crochet. So they're both large sacks, but they're not the same size sack. So we got the machine all the way taken apart, and Mr. Cinnamon came in. He's all, give me that piece, let me look at it. And I told him what it's supposed to do and what it's not doing. He went in there and he took the spring apart and fixed the spring. And while he was doing that and working on the inside of the bobbin casing and the spring part that we took off, can I tell you, there's YouTube videos on how to fix your sewing machine, just in case you didn't know that. If you are technologically, if you're not ignorant when it comes to technology, or like you understand engineering mechanisms, machinery type stuff, you can use a YouTube video and fix the machine. Not everybody has that ability, and I totally understand that. Some people just cannot do mechanics, and it's better to take it in and get it fixed when it comes to that. I'm very good at taking things apart. So is Mr. Cinnamon. Because that was a necessity growing up. Like, you didn't throw stuff away. You did not take it in to get it fixed. You repaired it yourself. I am from a long line of people that repair shit themselves. Okay, so with that being said, we got the machine back together. And this one has a smaller thing here. But this is, you could like tuck stuff into the sides here, like long knitting needles if you have long knitting needles or something. But really, it doesn't matter that that's not all the way to the ends. I did that for design. I liked the way it looked. It was cute. But this is the snow babies. And on the inside again is the stars. Like I said, no two bags are ever going to be alike with me because that bores me and I don't do it. We got everything put back together with the sewing machine. And it started to run smoother. And I was like, did we honestly just fix this machine? And I was able to pop out another bag. And I was like, all right, I'm done for the night because it had been a long day. And see, this is a little bit of a smaller sack. And this is snowmen. This is the material that reminded me of my mom. And on the inside looks like snow. Cute. And after all that, I was like, I'm done. I need to take a break. I need to, like, do something else. And so that's what I did. Came back the next day and it started to act up again. I was like, please don't do this to me. Please don't do this. So I started to pull it apart again. I got everything, like, made sure everything was lined up and I didn't have to fix anything or move anything. And I put everything back together. And by the way, this is a trick. The plate that goes on top of the sewing machine has screws. They're like flathead screws, but they're underneath the top part of the sewing machine. The best way to unscrew those is with a metal bobbin. I use that as a screwdriver because that's the only thing that fits under there to do that properly. Just saying. This is just a little, this is a tiny little sack, but this is so cute. And there's a little, like a little, I put a pleat in right there just for, you know, just for decorations. This is very small. I got everything. See, it's not going to fit. This is probably for socks or like small skeins or a Christmas gift. Yeah, so we got that all put together. Well, I got it back put together. I fixed everything and then I realized that I wasn't wrapping the thread right. And ever since then, knock on wood, it has been running like a dream. Like, I fixed it. Me and Mr. Cinnamon fixed it. And now, like, everything's good. Everything's good. And I was able to finish a whole bunch of bags. And this is that really cute material that has polar bears on it. Polar bears. And this almost feels like a jean material. Like it's a heavy-duty cotton. And on the inside, again, is the paw prints. Because I thought, polar bears, paw prints, that's like perfect. I'll give you an idea of the size of this one. And I got two more. But yeah, it was like a hot mess, but it was also like a lot of fun just sitting here and sewing. I love this one. It's got penguins and polar bears and snowmen and penguins riding polar bears. And on the inside of this is just navy blue because it matches that like so perfectly, right? And again, there's plenty of room in here for some skeins of yarn. And then last but not least, you already saw one of these, but I kept one and one is going in the shop. And it is identical to mine. So yeah, these are only going to be, these are going to be really cheap. They're not going to be anything like super expensive, super fantastic. I'm going to include shipping in with whatever I charge for these. Just because it's only going to cost me like $4 or $5 to ship these in within the United States. Obviously, if you were out of the United States, that's a whole different story. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. Let me grab my knit hat. This, I do have some of this left over. I am feeling very allergy. This, when I was redecorating this, I showed you guys a cake of hand-dyed wool yarn that I dyed myself, and I told you it started the skin issues that I really, when I had the really big flare up of the skin issues, and I was afraid of this yarn, and then I pulled it out of stash, and I was like, I'm not going to be afraid of this yarn anymore, because I know that because the skin issues have lasted so long, like, it's clearly something else other than working with wool. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna be afraid of it. I'm gonna pull it out. And then I started, I'm like, I want to make a Santa hat out of this. I'm debating a pom-pom or not, so I left my string out. And I just freehand kind of the design a little bit. This part of the hat is so beautiful. It's actually a little bit darker and more colorful than that, but because my ring light is right there, it's blowing it out a little bit. This is my hand-dyed yarn. Beautiful, beautiful Christmas colors. It pulled in a real funky way right there, but because that's the part that kind of folds over, it doesn't matter. I will not be wearing this because I find it to be itchy. However, this is perfect for like the top of my Christmas tree or to put on Brunhilde. Little Santa hat. I'm trying very carefully not to put it on my forehead because it is itchy to me. It is not a soft wool at all. It is 100% wool. It is a very raw feeling wool, so it's not super wash. But I was thinking a little pom-pom would be cute. And I think this is adorable, and I really like the way it turned out. And I really love the dye effect on it. I think I did a good job dyeing it. So, yeah. And I also freehand the pattern. So, the only thing I did is I took about every 4 rows, and I did maybe 6 decreases across. I think, I'm trying to remember. I think I did a cast on of 72. I could be wrong. I did 2x2 rib. I did like several inches of just straight stockinette. And then I divided it until it was an equal number. So maybe it was divided by 6. I think. And so like 6 divided by 6, I think was like, my math is not. Whatever it was like 17 in between or whatever. So at 16 and 17, I put 2 together. So I would go 15 stitches, and then 16, 17, I would decrease. And I did that all the way around. And then I did 4 rows of just stockinette, and then I did another set of decreases, and I didn't count at that point. And so I just tried to keep it at around the same spot in the hat, so it like gradually decreased. And then I hand washed this in the sink because I didn't want it to get gross or, you know, felt or anything like that. And then I hung it up to dry on my camera thingy. So it's cute. And it doesn't itch me at all if I wear it at the back of my head, but if it touches my skin at all, it is very, very itchy. But I'm proud of it. It's cute. And I got to use this wool, and I did not have any ill effects on my hands. So that makes me happy. Totally happy. So that is my one and only finished yarn project. So yeah. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful Monday morning. The bags should be up in the shop by the time this video airs, I hope. I have to photograph them and load them still. I haven't done that. So yeah, if there's anything, I don't even know. If there's anything, yeah, let me know. If there's nothing in the shop, they either haven't been loaded yet or they are sold out. Because like I said, there's only a handful. Let me see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of them. There's 8. If anybody is interested in the Christmas tree one with the big mistakes, if you don't mind that, if you want it, you can email me directly and I will send you a PayPal thing and you can purchase this. But if not, that's cool too. I will leave it in my stash. Alright guys, I will see you tomorrow. We have some Premier Yarns to show you. And I have some Mary Maxim to show you later in the week. And yeah, and it's Thanksgiving week. So today I'm going to say something that I am thankful for. I am thankful for all of you. I am thankful for everyone that watches my videos. I am thankful for every nice comment that I've ever received on this channel or elsewhere. I am thankful for the constant outpouring of love and support that you guys have provided me. I am just thankful that you guys are in my life. And with that, I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.